What's happening, my friends? My name is Nathan. Welcome to Motorcycle Training Concepts. In this video, we're going to be talking about the four, in my opinion, biggest safety concerns for a new rider to be aware of. And that new rider could be you're contemplating motorcycles for the first time, maybe you're on the fence, maybe you just got your bike but you don't know where to start. So here we go, 4 safety concerns for you to be aware of. And the first one is going to be road hazards. Motorcycles are more dangerous than cars. They're more vulnerable to things like potholes, road debris, or loose gravel, tar snakes, you name it. Anything on the ground that typically a car would just drive right over, those present hazards to motorcycles because there's such a little contact patch from your tires to the ground that something that could just shift you a little bit is going to throw you off balance and kind of give you that scare factor that you might not be as familiar with in a car. So you have to train your mind to look for these things, and basically it's any discoloration in the road that you see. When you're riding in your lane position, just be aware that the majority of the road's going to be the same color and try to stick to that same color. If you see a black spot or a light spot, anything on the road that looks like you may not know what it is, go ahead and just avoid that. When it comes to potholes, same thing. Keeping a safe distance from the cars in front of you can allow you to see those potholes ahead of time. So if the car in front of you hits a pothole, you have plenty of time and space to see them hit that and avoid it yourself. So moving on to debris, time and space is your best friend in this situation. So the sooner you can recognize and see something that you want to avoid, the sooner you can plan to avoid it. So the second safety concern we're going to talk about today is other drivers. Now I'm sure you've heard the phrase, act like you're invisible, pretend you're invisible, however variation of that you've heard. And the reason for that is because other car drivers are not looking for motorcycles. They're not accustomed to driving with motorcycles. They're looking for other car drivers because they're driving a car. Similar to how if you started looking for bikes, you started contemplating buying one, maybe you just bought one, but now you see bikes everywhere because you're looking for them. Car drivers typically don't look for other motorcycles. They're looking for other cars. So be predictable, be safe, plan your ride. You're going to do just fine, but just be aware that cars may not be looking for you. They may not be accustomed to seeing you around. So the third thing we're going to talk about today is speeding, but not cars speeding. You speeding. Speeding is the leading factor for all motorcycle crashes. Usually when that happens, a crash or a close call, speeding is involved somehow. When you start riding someone else's ride, trying to keep up with somebody, or maybe you're trying to not be a burden to the people behind you by going too slow, you start getting pushed into these situations that you're not comfortable with. So keep your speed at a reasonable level, keep it within your skill level, keep it at the speed limit, make yourself predictable to other drivers, and that'll help you in the long run when it comes to speeding. So the fourth thing that we're going to talk about is lack of protective gear. And I'm sure this is the most commonly talked about area when it comes to new riders. However, any video about new rider safety is going to be remiss without covering this topic at least once. I'm going to go into each one of these in a separate series where I talk about the helmet, jacket, pants, boots, and gloves individually and go into depth about those. But for the sake of time in this video, I'm just going to talk about the safety concerns of not wearing gear. So you're watching this video, you clicked on it. I'm sure each and every one of you have a phone, a cell phone, with a case on it. The case is the sacrificial piece, right? You drop your phone, you're hoping that the case is going to pick it up, and every time you drop your phone, you're thinking, oh, today's the day. And you pick up your phone and your phone's fine, but the case got scuffed up. That's the idea with gear too. Gear isn't the cure-all for all motorcycle wounds. It's not going to save your life every single time. The hope is that if you crash with your gear on, the person inside is going to be okay. If you drop your phone without a case on it, it's going to break. You can't do that with your body. If you crash without gear on, you're going to have lacerations, you're going to have abrasions, you're going to have road rash, broken bones, you name it. All these things can happen immediately upon touching the ground. You can fully kit out, and again, I'll go into this in a separate video, you can fully kit out all 5 pieces of gear on a budget build for less than $800. If you want to get ahead of me and do your own research on that, I've got a link in the description to RevZilla. We got a beginner gear list on there. It's constantly updated with things that are in stock and what's the best beginner gear right now, but it's all affordable, all good quality gear. You can check that out if you want to get ahead of me, but I will be doing a full series on buyer's guide for gear. So if you're in the research stage and you're looking to get more information on motorcycles, those are my 4 safety concerns that I would pitch to anybody who's in that stage looking for more information, things to be aware of. So I'm gonna go ahead and cap it off right there. Go ahead and ride safe, ride smart, and I'll see you all in the next video.